we call it vendor because it's easy to identify vendors, but they don't necessarily just sell wares, but they're very accomplished artists and thinkers and all sorts of networking. And the first one is Joyce Holberg. Joyce, that would be great. Do you have anything to show? Okay, wonderful. So Joyce is going to talk about her. This is like what's called pechakucha in Japan. It's like so short, like 12 frames, 5 seconds each or something incredible. But it's really a good concentrated essence of something comes out of it. So each vendor has 5 minutes. So it's going to be short, but you can talk to shorter. You can visit her table and talk to her personally. So this is what we like to do. This is a networking places. Okay, yes, Joyce, thank you so much.
So great to be here, and it's the history of that is represented by all of you here is so wonderful, and especially with the honoring of the Tapestry Project. I moved to the Bay Area in 1985 after weaving at 2 art studios in New York City, one of them being the Scheuer Tapestry Studio that was founded by Ruth Scheuer, now goes by Rudy Dundas. And Ruth worked with Jean-Pierre. They started the San Francisco Tapestry Workshop. So I learned tapestry. It was my first love as an artist. And when I moved to the Bay Area in '85, I just went right into that community. There are first members of the Tapestry Weavers West. We founded that group. Their show is at the Mills Building right now. So tapestry was my original lineage. Came out here, learned the craft and art of textile conservation. So I'm a textile conservator by trade and artist by temperament. And I have a few little tapestries that I wove over the years that I have on my table. I've been doing a series called Series at my table in honor of the sentiment of the Tapestry project. If I sell anything today, I'll make a donation to my 2 favorite nonprofits. GRIP is a group that works mostly out of San Quentin, and it's through a Vipassana technique that they build Sangha within the prisons that holds the people when they get released and supports them moving forward. And Sacred Rock is, Ron Koch is and they take people from the juvenile delinquent system and take them out into Yosemite and teach them about the beauty of nature and climbing and things like that. So there are 2 organizations that I feel very close to. And just for closing, I have curated a collection survey at the San Jose Museum of Quilts and Textiles. I was the manager of the collection there from 2006 to 2013. And this exhibition that Deborah Corsini was the curator at the time, she's here, Invisible Lineage. This exhibit began a 10-year project that I've been building, a history of the California textile art movement. Some of that history is on display at the museum in San Jose, and there will be a walkthrough on August 16th. So thank you, beautiful community. Did I do okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then, but also you do some artwork yourself.
Yeah, I did say that. It was, yeah, the interstitial, yeah.
Yes.
And I have a studio at the Sawtooth here, and my conservation studio is behind my home on Walnut Street. And yes, so I have many artworks and at the Sawtooth, and I participate in East Bay Open Studio, which happens 2 times a year.
Very good. Thank you so much, Joyce.
Thank you.
Hey, So, and then this is next.
I don't think the microphone is working at his house.
Microphone is for Zoom.
I see.
Sorry, because it's this is not for the low. Sorry, they have to speak loudly. And if you like to come closer,
No, I'm fine. I was just worried about what's on.
I'll speak up.
Yeah.
She was gonna go.
Are you ready for,
What is it?
It's an order about.
I'm second, I think.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Melody. Yes. Melody.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. I was like, can I escape this?
Yeah. Thank you so much. By the way, I wanted to introduce Tomoko Ferguson from Bend, and she's our programs director, and Mayumi Fujio, who just came back from trekking. She mushroom hunting and trekking. How many? You talk about that later. And then she's and then also this is my grandson, Reed Wada, okay, who's helping, and this is Vijanti.
My name is Vaijayanti. The easiest way to pronounce my name is alphabet Y, alphabet J, YJ. Everybody calls me YJ. And I am a batik artist. I have been doing batik for the last 15 to 20 years. Got into it because I moved to Southeast Asia, fell in love with it, and completely, it took over my life, I would say. And when I came to the Bay Area, I started doing rosome as well, which is roketsu zome, which is the Japanese version of, it's very different from the Malay and the Indonesian cantings, but it's a fantastic, very beautiful process that has also taken over my life. I didn't know what I would say in 5 minutes, so I wanted to introduce my latest piece. I said, you know what, let me just show them a little bit of what I do. This is my latest tapestry that I made, going over San Mateo Bridge, looking towards San Francisco.
So that way too.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Oh.
Did you learn by any chance from Betsy?
Yes,
Sterling
she's
Benjamin?
my Lasha, I cannot say that, but she's my teacher. In fact, tomorrow I'm heading to Minneapolis for another workshop with her.
Benjamin. Now
Kiranada.
Kiranada.
So what I do is I like the fusion of things. I feel like the world, craft is something alive. It's something that continuously changes and fuses together. And so what I take is my Malay canting method, which is the, where the buildings are made, and the Japanese rosome method where I've done the mountains. And yeah, I'm a big fan of this event. This was my first event that I've ever done. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a fashion designer by profession, so I make a lot of clothes. But slowly my entire movement is moving towards art. And yeah, so I would love if anybody wants to come to the table to introduce you guys to my favorite tools of the trade, my cantings, and show you what I've done over the last 1 year. And as I was saying, this is one of my favorite places. My first event after coming to the Bay Area 2.5 years ago was here. And I have very fond memories, and I'm looking forward to sharing everything with you guys. Take care. Thank you.
So much today. And Annalise. Oh, no. Nina is next.
I'm going to say, if you cannot hear in the back, just raise your hand and that'll tell the speaker to talk a little louder.
And also bathroom is here in case you need. And then there's a filter, water filter for filtered water if you get thirsty. And are you all okay standing? Okay.
Hello. Let me warm up my voice. another weak voice to talk to. Sorry about that. See if I can get a little bit. I don't know if anybody remember, if you were here last year, I that was my first year here, and I improvised a presentation. I had planned on talking about my favorite kind of Japanese weaving, which became an obsession for me, which is oshimatsumuji. But I thought, nah, and I just opened up about the fact that I am, or I was last year, a kimono addict. I want to tell you this year that I am a kimono addict in recovery. It was either go into recovery or kiss off a 42-year-old marriage. I remember my husband just reached a point where I can't do it. So I want to share with you how you know when you're going too far. If you just come by I have a table out here with 55 Japanese volts, mostly silk, woven, dyed, and also woven cotton. That's going too far. And I was going to bring 100, but I thought, nah, that's fine. So help me, please. But anyhow, so I tried years ago to tell some friends that I really had a kimono addiction, but I didn't say it like that. I said, I have an addiction problem. And people instantly sympathetic. They start nodding and they start thinking, what? Is it, is it alcohol? Is it fentanyl? Is it oxyprotin? Is it nicotine? Is it watching reruns of The Nanny over and over? And when you tell them and they're ready, whatever that is, to be very sympathetic and supportive. But when you say, I have a kimono addiction or a textile addiction, all sympathy is gone. It's just like, it's like a big laugh line. So I want to save you that trouble and tell you at least the basic warning signs that I have observed really in my own life, okay? So the first one is you don't mind eating standing up. And if you have a mate, or children or anybody, they have to accommodate that as well, because my gosh, you need the tables, right? You need the kitchen table and you need the dining room table, and you've got projects spread out that you are going to complete, but they're in progress. And I mean, my husband, does he mind standing at the kitchen counter for all of our meals? So that's number one, okay? And number two, you discover compression bags. Now you're thinking for the textiles, oh no, they need to breathe. The compression bags are when you realize that you don't have a lot of guests coming over anymore. You don't need half a linen closet with guest towels, guest sheets, guest whatever, blankets. No, you need kimonos. Oh, no. Please. So what you can do is you can compress all that guest stuff into nice flat things, and you can just slide it right under your bed. Yeah. And now you've got like at least a closet or half a closet with room for your kimonos, your textiles. Okay, that's number two problem. Number three, let me think. I had so many that I was actually really, I could have been here all day telling you what some of the number three, I have a prop for this, which is, you have saturated how much you can store, how much you can buy. You have years of, and it's a love affair. You fall in love with them. You say, oh, that is so beautiful, and that's not being made anymore. This is a scarcity thing. I really would love to have it and just admire it. So you get enough bolts, you get enough fabric, textiles, then you start looking at kimono adjacent products. Things that, I mean, yes. You see, this is oshimatsumuji. So, I mean, it's like, yes, isn't it so beautiful? Yes. So this is what I mean by, an absolutely beautiful, lovely, useless, from my point of view, mono adjacent product that you think, oh, I have to have that. Okay. And number four, and since we're all friends here, I can say this, which is when you start bringing your iPad and putting it on your bedstand, just in case when you get up at night to do your business, you want to check an auction that you're bidding on and see how it's doing, call me. Yeah, you need help. Please come by my table. Oh, yeah. One thing, I'm going to just do a little pitch, which is I really am desperately trying to get out of having so many kimonos and actually letting my, I'm joking, but all of these things are true. The iPad, all of it. The nanny reruns, all of it. Anyhow, I have a kimono shop on Etsy, and I have a card, and I want to give everyone, if you want it, there's a 25% discount for the rest of the month for friends of the World Shibori Network. So you just can pick up that card at your leisure, go on to that and see if there's anything there that draws you. So, thank you. Welcome. Take away.
I saw more people. Hi. And then Carissa, I saw Carissa Gehring. Come in. Come in and
They're all signing in, so Junko-san can start.
okay. And next one is she has a table near the gate on the first. Her name is Junko Stickney.
Yes, Junko.
Okay, so that's the camera over there. And
Okay. Hi. Good morning. I'm another addiction of metal. Not to, I love clothes, but just
speak up.
okay.
Sorry.
First time I'm speaking in front of people. So, are you ready for the slide? Yeah. Okay. I'm making jewelry for maybe over 40 years because of I like to making tube. I learned at college to making tea ceremony when you do using the chopstick, metal chopstick to hold the sumi. Do you know sumi? Charcoal to put into the place in the pot. So that's technique I learned, just slightly learned in college, and then I remembered it. And then so I decided to use that technique for making jewelry because of that. I think the form I create is three-dimensional. I make tube with thin metal of the silver and then cut off with slightly different shape and then roll up, make tube and turn, bend like this. Hi.
Did you give him the USB or PowerPoint?
Yeah, USB, I think. No, you don't have it? Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Did you email?
Yeah,
You emailed.
email to Tomoko-san.
Oh.
But it's okay. Yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
send you the
Uh-huh.
PowerPoint
yeah.
in a recording. Because it wasn't downloaded. She said she sent the
So I just contact ChatGPT and then made a sentence. So I just read it. For example, when making a bracelet, I began with a thin sheet of silver, cut it into stripes, roll them into tubes, and carefully solder them together. Do you know solder? And then little by little, bend and making tube, but without, collapsing. I have to be very careful to bend each time and form lines full of tension, which gradually reveal themselves as three-dimensional shapes. This idea of working with tubes was inspired by the metal chopsticks used in Japanese tea ceremony, which I studied in college in Japan. I believe metals, gemstones, and minerals carry the deep energy of the earth since its creation. enclosing these precious materials in jewelry so they can become part of everyday life feels deeply meaningful to me. It's said that every stone holds its own unique power. When the vibration of stone resonates with you, wearing it or even keeping it close can bring you the energy you need. For instance, labradorite is believed to heighten intuition, spark creativity, and support personal growth. I'm actually wearing today right now. Learning. Oh yeah. More recently, I have also been exploring kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken ceramics with gold, and also sewing projects that give new life to old kimono fabric. This is old kimono and it has borrow. It's stitching in the clothes. It's really old clothes from my family, but I decided to make my clothes. And also the skirt, the jeans, my leg is too short, so I have to cut. So I collected this many years and I made a skirt like this at the time, pandemic time. So still, as long as I'm able, I hope to continue creating jewelry, always guided by the feelings and inspiration of the moment. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoshiko and her staff. This is very much a celebration in many ways. First of all, for Yoshiko's PhD, I have to say, I have the honor of following this, sometimes with very late phone calls. That is Yoshiko's time in the Great Britain, where I had the privilege of being a sounding board for all the things she was reading and thinking. So here it has happened. I also want to spill the beans that Yoshiko celebrated her birthday yesterday. So today, many of you know my work and you're probably tired of seeing my history. So I'm taking a different tact today to share with you what is happening in my studio. Slides, please.
Could you share her?
So
We go back a long way.
we certainly do.
1975, we met at Fiberworks. That was the first shibori class Donna Larson and I taught. And we've been friends. And she's been the most amazing artist in this dimensional transformation.
And as I always tell Yoshiko, she could have had a brilliant career in PR. Can you find them? Okay. I often call my work a conversation with cloth, and I have worked with a number of substrates, most recently industrial felt, which I adore. It's heavy, it won't sew, it doesn't really bend like most shibori materials, so it definitely talks back. And I've done a series that I call Climate Chaos, and I'm continuing with that. This is called Atmospheric River. Next. This is the great plastic patch in the oceans. Next. And this is part of 3 pieces in an installation. We have thaw, as in permafrost, flood, need I say more, and burn. I live in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and this is what we saw. Butano Ridge. From our house, we could see this. I was evacuated, but fortunately, we survived. So I continue to explore different materials to work with. A number of years, now it's probably 12 years, I started working with paper. And of course, textile artists love origami. And I had played with folding fabric, but fabric was very resistant to folding, and it would always slip out of shape. However, working paper was natural. So this is a part of a large installation of 5 yukata called Origami Patterning Paper Yukata. Next slide. I am proud to say that part of this installation was just exhibited at Expo 2025 in Osaka. So I thought that was an appropriate audience. So paper, I continue to work with paper. This is Kakishibu persimmon tannin on paper that has been modified with iron. This is just a study. This is what I do in my studio. I put things up on the wall, I look at them, I move them around. And as certainly Yoshiko knows, and many of you know, I am not a fan of social media. However, I'm saying to myself, I've got to at least say once that I'm a participant. So I am starting, will start, if you want to come to my table, I'll talk about it. I'm going to have a continuously changing exhibition. And it's going, I will be pinning 120 pieces of paper, next please, on my wall and photographing it and saying, how many compositions can I make out of basically triangles and parallelograms? If any of you, I am in conversation with a mathematician to tell me how many permutations are there with this one little square, 120 of them. And I'm looking for an AI expert. I'm going to ask them, make some compositions for me. One will be symmetrical, one will be asymmetrical, and I will be posting these on Instagram. But mind you, I get pulled one direction or another. So another direction I'm making monoprints. These are applying thickened dye on top of shibori textures. And then I press the paper into those objects and they become prints. Next. This was a fold. Next. This was white shadow, if any of you know that laborious process. I have to say, as I get older, I want things simpler. I want them fast. I want to pull from my experience. And it's the most satisfying thing in my life right now. Although, next, occasionally I step back to the dye pot and I'm finding myself busy making multiples and putting them together in more conventional wall pieces. So I've done a series of 5 pieces that are all about stripes. They're done with carved blocks. This is one of them, and this is another. So I don't, just like Yoshiko, I hope I could equal her and never stop. Thank you.
This is a hard act to follow. I'm Sana Gauss, Svetlana, For people who know me in person, Sana online. I have a different personality and I mostly work in collaborations with other artists. You've heard a lot of interesting ideas now, but I wanted to present you with something that is nonverbal. I did a collaboration between the Lithuanian weaver and Japanese stitchers, which took about 9 months. And a year ago, after I presented that collaboration and the fabrics textile collection that was made, I acted as a curator and a producer of that collection. I contacted a very famous Lithuanian choreographer and I asked her to interpret these works in dance. And so what I would like to present to you now is a very short film. One of the films, I was looking for a nonverbal way, another nonverbal way, just like textiles are, to express the beauty of weaving and stitching. And so the film is called Woven Light, Stitch Shadow. And I want to show you this collaboration. Would you please play that video? The premiere of this film was last year during New York Textile Month, and this is the West Coast premiere. There's music. The music is actually an instrument like koto, but the Lithuanian version of it. It's strings that are parallel to the table and are played by quite a well-known Lithuanian composer, a young composer.
Sound?
Yes, there was a sound. It's so future.
You make the sound big.
Yeah, yes.
That's a Lithuanian traditional instrument. And then there was a cello also. The partner of the composer is playing cello. And I felt like this verticality of cello, a classical instrument, and the traditional Japanese instrument captured the warp and the weft of the linen. Thank you. And just to give thanks again to this studio, Slow Fiber Studio, because that's where I met Atsushi Fudatsue, with whose mother I worked. This is an apron that was stitched by his mom in Takayama, and Yoshiko was the one who introduced me to Atsushi. Then I found two other masters, one in Sashiko and one in Kogen. And so thank you for that, of course, and for the encouragement and the venue to show this. And we're going to have actually an exhibit of these textiles as well as the contributions from the local stitchers. So if you're doing Sashiko or Kogen, please contact me as soon as possible, because Hakone Gardens in Saratoga is going to have this exhibit for 6 months. We haven't named it yet. It's not going to be woven light, stitch shadow. It will be something else, but it will be there for 6 months, from January to June 2026. And we are looking actively for contributions from the local community. And we do want to see how traditional heritage craft can actually move into the world of art. And it happens quite seamlessly, as you have seen, aided by other forms of art.
Right.
Thank you.
Also, Svetlana, you were open to receiving if anyone has sashiko from Japan.
Absolutely, yes. So if
Of
anybody has
hobbying.
souvenirs or family heirlooms, we're very happy to accept them with personal stories. We really would like it to be a community project. And we'll have an extensive cultural program, so people will be coming and teaching, so there'll be a chance to have mending circles, sashiko workshops, Kogen, introduction to Kogen. So I'm working with that, Hakone Gardens in Saratoga.
And next it's Mayumi Fujio.
Thank you, Yoshiko-san, and congratulations on your PhD and happy birthday. I first met Yoshiko in 2020 here in the studio. I've known her because she is very famous, but I had no courage to come to the studio until 2020. There was a little gathering, a potluck talk by Gao Yu, and that's when I first met you. And then ever since then, she's taking me under her wing, and I'm now a staff of World Shibari Network. And I'm a natural dyer, and I specialize in botanical printing and also mushroom dyeing. As Yoshiko said, I just came back from Nepal 3 days ago. I was invited as a mushroom dyer to give a presentation during the trekking in the Himalayas. So that was a little bit challenging with all the materials, but we were able to find 153 new species, not new, 153 species altogether in the course of 5 days trekking. And I identified 4 species that I could use as a natural dye. And one of which it was completely new to me. Because that mushroom does not exist in the Bay Area or in the United States. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And also I have a little wrap here. This is my work, botanical printing. Basically, I place all the real leaves and flowers onto the fabric, roll it up and steam it for 2 hours, 2 hours, sometimes longer, and basically capture all the natural color and shape from the plant itself. And in the background color, I add using natural dye. In this case, I use logwood. I use this one for Brazil wood. I also incorporating now mushroom dyeing as a background color. Next week, I am traveling to Colorado Telluride for the biggest mushroom festival, where I will be presenting and teaching the botanical dye using lichen and mushroom. And so I have been very, very busy. And last of all, I would like to say that I am actually leading the World Shibari Network Japan tour. I led the Japan tour in May, which 2 of you have participated. And we'll be traveling with Yoshiko-san in October for another workshop tour. And next year, we have a lot of exciting programs. we're traveling to India together.
Yes.
And then also to Japan as well. So I'm sure you are all in the email.
Yes.
So please keep up the email and sign up for the tours.
Yes, it's very limited, and she's such an incredible, organized, well-organized facilitator. And she leads the group, and then it was so popular. We're repeating another one next year to the north, and I don't know how many workshops you had.
We had so many. We had
Yeah,
like
during the trip.
6 workshops, 7 workshops, and we visited so many factories and weaving houses and artisans and natural dyers, and it was really exciting trip. Not
For you also.
for me also, because it was very new area for me too. So
Okay.
yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much and enjoy.